Hello everyone, I am Daksha and today we are going to continue with our mathematics polynomials topic. And as this is the fourth video in this series, I would suggest that if you haven't watched the first three parts, then you can go ahead and watch them. I will leave the link in the description down below. Now, let's get into it. So, for maths, our today's topic is polynomials part 4. Before going further into the video, I would like to say that like this video and subscribe to our channel and turn the notification bell on so we'll not miss any videos about from our channel, and it helps me a lot. So let's get into it. Today we will be learning about the factors of a polynomial and also understand how to get the factors of a linear polynomial through the method of remainder theorem. Also, we will see how can we use the splitting term method to get the factors of a quadratic polynomial and how to get the factors of a cubic polynomial. So in this video, it will be consisting of three parts, which will be first, getting factors of a linear polynomial, second, getting factors of a quadratic polynomial, and third, getting factors of a cubic polynomial. But this video will not end the polynomials topic because we have got to cover a lot more. Let's get into our today's part. So first we will see what is factor theorem. If p of x is a polynomial of degree n greater than 1 and a is any real number, then x minus a is a factor of p of x if p of a equals 0 and p of a equals 0 if x minus a is a factor of p of x. So these are relative statements. So if x minus a is factor of p of x, then p of a must be 0. And if p of a is 0, then x minus a is a factor of p of x. Let's see. So the method of factor theorem uses a little bit of remainder theorem, but remainder theorem is very useful as we can get the factors of any polynomial by remainder theorem way faster than we use the factor theorem. So I won't be using the factor theorem, but we will still see that how to get the factors of different types of polynomials. First, we will see how to know that which polynomial is factor of other polynomial. So first example is, examine whether x plus 2 is a factor of x cube plus 3x square plus 5x plus 6 and of 2x plus 4. So we have to see if when we divide x cube plus 3x square plus 5x plus 6 or 2x plus 4 by x plus 2, then the answer is 0. If the answer is 0, then it is a factor. First we will write the p of x, then g of x equals x plus 2, x plus 2 equals 0, so x equals minus 2. Now just get the p of minus 2, and if the answer is 0, then g of x is the factor of p of x. Simple. So p of minus 2 equals minus 2 whole cube. This is for the first polynomial. Minus 2 cube plus 3 into minus 2 square plus 5 into minus 2 plus 6 equals minus 8 plus 2 plus 12 minus 10 plus 6. So it will be minus 2. Therefore, x plus 2 is not a factor of x cube plus 3x square plus 5x plus 6. Now let's check it for the second polynomial, which is 2x plus 4. So p of minus 2 equals 2 into minus 2 plus 4. So minus 4 plus 4 equals 0. So that means x plus 2 is a factor of 2x plus 4. So now you know that how to check the factors of the polynomials. So now we will see that how to get those. Exercise 12, find the value of k. Now they might ask you that there is an unknown value in the p of x that you need to find, but they will give you a factor. So here factor is x plus 1. So 4x cube plus 3x square minus 4x plus k. So we have to find the value of k. Okay. First, x plus 1 is a factor. So we will find the remainder through the remainder theorem. And then the opposite of the remainder will be our answer. Simple. Let's do it now. 4x cube plus 3x square minus 4x plus k. So g of x is x plus 1 equals 0, x equals minus 1. Then 4 into minus 1 cube plus 3 into minus 1 whole square minus 4 into minus 1 plus k equals 0. So minus 4 plus 3 plus 4 plus k equals 0. So 3x plus k equals 0. So k equals minus 3. Simple. 3 is our reminder. So k equals minus 3. So that's how you find k. If you didn't understand, let me go it over it. So first you will do the reminder theorem. You did the reminder theorem here and got 3x 3 plus x 3 plus k will be your answer. Then you will assume 3 plus k equals 0, and when you assume 3 plus k equals 0, then you take this unknown variable one side and this variable here. So when you move 3 to this side, then it will become minus 3. So k will become minus 3. That is how you find the value of an unknown variable in p of x. Now it's time for the example 13. Now in this example I will be showing you how to use the splitting term method. So by the method of splitting middle term, find the factors of following p of x. So our p of x is 6x squared plus 17x plus 5. Now let me mention this here. You can only use the method of splitting term for a 3-term p of x. So if you have more than 3 terms or less than 3 terms, then you cannot use the splitting term method. Now let's see how to use this method. So what you need to do, that you need to multiply the coefficients of the first and the last term. So 6 5s are 30. Here I have given it in the bracket. 6 5s are 30. Now this is the tricky part. 17x. What you need to do is make two parts of 17x and do it in such a way that the addition of two terms should be 17 and the multiplication of those two terms should be 30, because 6 into 5 equals 30. So let's see it. So we got 6x squared plus 2x plus 15x plus 5, because when you multiply 2 into 15 then you get 30, and when you add 2x plus 15 then you get 17. Then 2x plus 2x. So now you will have to take common terms out of them. So 2x into 3x plus 1 and plus 5 into 3x plus 1. Note this, that always you will get one bracket which is common. So this brackets right here should always be common. If they are not common, then consider rearranging the terms or checking your common factors that you have taken off. And at last you should get this 2x plus 5 and 3x plus 1 3x plus 1 common. So 2x plus 5, 1 minute, 2x plus 5 and 3x and 3x. So that's how you get the factors of a quadratic polynomial through the splitting term method. Now for the final example. This example is pretty tricky and pretty tough, but we will do it. Factorize x cube minus 23x square plus 142x minus 120. This is a little tricky question, and for this question I will use the long division method. There are other methods out there, but from my point this is the best method from me, and thus I will be using the long division for factorizing the cubic polynomials. So we are factorizing a cubic polynomial right here, which is x cube minus 23x square plus 142x minus 120. So what you first need to do is find the first factor. So for finding the first factor, you need to put random values of x, and if you get the answer as 0, then you need to do x, and if the answer is negative, then you need to put positive sign after x and write that number. And if the answer is negative, sorry, if the answer is positive, then you need to put the negative sign before x. So for an example, I have already got this answer. So p of minus 1, now when you will solve it, you will get 0. So the first factor is x plus 1, because it was minus 1 here, so you will need to put plus 1 and you will need to put x before it. Now we must long divide the p of x by x plus 1. In a rough space or rough paper, you don't need to do it in the sum. Then you will need to take the quotient and split that factor, and from which we will finally arrive on our answer. So I have not shown the long division here because we have seen in the last video that the long division is actually pretty long. So what I have done is I just got that answer. So when you will long divide it, after long dividing, the quotient you get, that should be noted by you. The quotient, not the remainder, not the answer, not the divisor, or not the p of x. We need the quotient from long division. So after we get that quotient, you need to write p of x equals x cube minus 23x square plus 142x minus 120. Then you will need to put these two lines blank, and then I will show you how to write all this. And then after leaving these two lines blank, you need to write x plus 1, and here is the quotient that I got after long dividing. So this is your quotient. It will always be a 3-term quotient if you have done it right. So it will be a 3-term quotient. Then what you need to do is take one of these term, write it here, and write this bracket after that. Then repeat it for the second term here, then the first bracket here or the factor here, then the third term and the first factor. Now what you need to do is go into above that line and multiply it. So when you will multiply it, you will get all this, and then you need to, so this is the first factor and the quotient, and then you will need to do the splitting system for the quotient. So you have to split method the quotient. Let's do the split method. X square minus 22x plus 120 is our quotient. So when we do the splitting method, x into 120 means 120. So we have to get two terms that makes addition 22 and multiplication 120. So here we got x square minus 10x minus 12x plus 20. So 10 12s are 120, and minus 10 minus 12 equals minus 22. Now we will take common, and the factors we will get of this quotient will be x minus 12 and x minus 10. So our final answer will be x plus 1, x minus 12 and x minus 10. This is our first factor which we got by remainder theorem, and these are our second two factors which we got from split methoding the quotient. This might seem a long sum and difficult when you see it for the first time, but once you are used to it, you will find this sum very, very easy. So guys, this was it for this part of this topic. Please like, share and subscribe, and turn on the post notifications after subscribing to be notified about all our future video uploads. And now I will try to upload as much as I can fast, I would say, because I have been inactive from a very long time. Sorry for that. And comment down any suggestions in the comment box down below. So till the next video, goodbye.